Hello, everybody. I have a big, super apology to make to you guys. I got the time completely wrong about Free Coaching Friday. I'm here now, nearly 40 minutes late. There was always going to be that silly English woman who got something wrong. So, guys, here I am. I'm just, give me a minute. I just need to check on my phone because I can't see the comments, I don't think, on my desktop. So I am just got to turn the volume down. There we go. And hopefully I can see all your comments as they come in to me. Okay, so guys, I'm so sorry once again. Feeling like a bit of an idiot right now. And I promise you it absolutely won't happen again. Hi, Julian. Thank you for joining me 40 minutes late. What a way to start. Okay, so guys, my name is Kate, and I'm sorry about my blind. It's a beautiful hot day here in the UK. We're 27 degrees and the light's coming through the hole in my blind, so that's why I'm looking a bit funny. Can't do anything about it. There we go. So I'm Kate, Coach Kate, and some of you will know me, some of you won't. I live in the UK. I've been with the coaching team for just around 6 months now, and I love it. I love the talking to you guys every single day. It's a great honor and a privilege for me to be in this position. I have to try and remember to look in my camera. Goodness, all this stuff to remember when you're doing a Facebook Live. Gosh. So, let me know where you're coming in from. I'm in the UK. I live in a small village just outside of London, beautiful English countryside. Very lucky. Like I said, I'm super proud to be part of the team. It's a great honor for me to be with you on the start of your Super Affiliate Network journey. And to watch you learn and grow and to watch you succeed, watch you posting in the group. Honestly, it's absolutely fantastic. Big shout out to all the rest of the people on the coaching team who do such a fantastic job guiding you and holding your hands along the way. And definitely to our two pro coaches, Jessie and Charlotte, and for all the fantastic work that they do for you guys, getting you those big commissions. So, guys, what I wanted to talk to you about today is limiting beliefs. Hi, Kanisha. Nice to see you on the call. I want to talk to you about limiting beliefs. Now, I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to do this topic over at least 2 sessions, and that's because it's a big, broad topic, okay? Now, I've got notes in front of me, so please bear with me if I'm looking down. Hi, Naranjala, what a fantastic name. It's lovely to see you. So I've got notes in front of me so that I don't miss anything. So I'm going to just introduce you to limiting beliefs today. We're going to go through where they come from. And I'm also going to just extend a little bit what Gemma spoke about last week. So if you haven't watched Gemma's call from last Friday, then please make sure you watch the replay, because Gemma introduces you to the concept of language and how it absolutely impacts on your ability to think about things. And she talks about affirmations. So please make sure you catch up on Gemma's. And in fact, if you've missed the Free Coaching Friday sessions, they're all amazing. They're all, a massive source of inspiration for you. So please just make sure that you catch up with them. They're all recorded. On the obviously on this page, so just scroll back and have a look at them. Okay, so guys, let us get going. So starting with limiting beliefs, what are they? So limiting beliefs are things that we believe to be absolutely true about ourselves, other people, and the world in general. And they actually come from an emotional experience that has previously given us pain or pleasure. Now, the problem with limiting beliefs is that they inhibit us in some way. They stop us from thinking or saying or doing the things that the beliefs are focused around. So remember last week's session, Gemma spoke about this quite a lot, about how the words we use stop our brain from working. And that's exactly what limiting beliefs do. And, you know, it's really true to say that, you know, it doesn't matter how the limiting beliefs manifest themselves, they leave us lacking and limited. Okay, so let's just talk about where limiting, hi Diane, and hi Bethany, another 45 minutes late person, which is me. So they leave us lacking. And so let's talk about where they come from. So the first place that our limiting beliefs come from is from our experience. So every single one of us learns from the experiences that we have in the past. So we take an action, then there's a response, and then we make a judgment about what happened. And, you know, often the beliefs that we create can be helpful, but more often they can be very limiting, okay? And especially the ones that we create when we're young. So, when we're young, that's the time, because we don't have all of those adult processes that we develop as we grow older, our limiting beliefs are developed under false pretenses. And actually that's nature's way of keeping us safe. So for example, you know, when you were little, before you can remember, you might have fallen off the settee and you might have really hurt yourself. And then that leaves you believing that whenever you fall over, you're going to really, really hurt yourself. And so now you're terrified of heights. Okay, so absolutely, Diane, we definitely don't like limits. So that's how experiences can impact on your belief system. And often they start from when we're really small, when we actually don't remember. You know, the memories go back way too far and we don't remember. Or it was an incident that was so small that we can't remember it, but actually the impact of that is huge. Okay. Now, the next place that our limiting beliefs come from is our education. And, you know, we can't solely rely on our experiences to teach us everything that we know. So we all go to school, you know, we all go into the educational system, and, you know, we go through primary school and secondary school and, you know, whatever system it is in whatever country you live in. But we also learn through informal education. So we not only have the school formal system, but we have an informal system as well. And we learn from school and college and our parents and our peers and our friends. However, sometimes the people that are teaching us things are misinformed, or their opinion isn't true, or, you know, whatever they're thinking isn't quite right. And that leaves us in a position of developing a false and limiting belief around whatever it is that they're not quite right on. So although we definitely need an education, what we are taught can often prevent us from doing something that's actually beneficial for us. So the next thing that we develop our limiting beliefs from is faulty logic. Now, all of us make decisions based on when we've kind of thought about something and we don't quite grasp what it is that we are thinking about or we want to make a decision about, and we make a poor judgment on that. And that's based on a poor estimation of probability. So we take a small amount of data and we generalize it to every single situation. And these are those things, you know, for example, like, you know, I always get scammed, or I never make money, or, you know, I always end up paying, you know, too much money for whatever it is that I want to buy. And that might have happened to you once or twice, and then you make this generalization that it happens to you all the time. Okay. And now the other side of that is that we can base decisions on hunches, and hunches originate in our subconscious mind and they're based on hopes and fears, and sometimes they're even based on body sensations. So you might have that little nervous feeling in your tummy, you know, but that, you know, all that is a body sensation. It doesn't mean anything. Hi, Jess. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. And you know, think about how many times you've made a decision because you've got a funny feeling in your tummy. You know, because you're feeling nervous or excited, or, you know, those kind of, like, you really, you get this feeling and it makes you really anxious. You know, just think about all those times that's happened to you. Now, just drop a 1 in the comments if you're getting some value out of this. I'd really, really like to hope that you are. Just let me know that you are finding it helpful. So, guys, the next thing, hi, Renee. The next thing we're going to talk about is making excuses. Okay. Now, you know, guys, this is a biggie for every single one of us. This is a biggie. Okay. None of us like to admit that we failed. None of us, do we? Like, who wants to admit that they've not done something? Thank you, Fraser. That they've not done something quite as well as they should. Okay. So when we do something that doesn't work for us, or we do something that, you know, we've done it in a way that we didn't want to quite do, we explain our failure with beliefs that justify our actions and absolve us from blame. Okay, that is what we do. Now, the problem with that is that by doing that, we consolidate those false beliefs that we're using as excuses, and we build the evidence to support that belief in place. Okay. And then, because we've now built a whole heap of evidence based around, you know, terrible excuses that because we failed, it stops us from experiencing the other things that actually we might be able to learn a much, much more valuable lesson from. Okay. Now, the final place where we develop our limiting beliefs from, and this is the same for everybody, every person on the planet, and this is fear. Okay. We're all frightened. I'm frightened of you. I know. Can you believe it? I'm frightened of you guys, like coming here and doing this Facebook Live on Free Coaching Friday, and I was 40 minutes late because I got the time wrong, and like terrified. Oh my God, like, wow. Anyway, so many of our limiting beliefs are driven by fear. And our fear comes from the belief. Oh yes, Diane. Yes, it's true. Hi, Jane. I've completely lost my train of thought now. So, fear. It normally stems from a belief that we are going to be harmed in some way, okay, whether that's physically or psychologically. And this all taps into your survival mechanism, okay. So we have this incredible system that protects us from harm. So as soon as we see a perceived threat, we go into survival mode, okay. And that part of that is fear. Now, social influences form a strong part of our belief, and the social influences are around the fear of criticism and ridicule, rejection by others, and we exactly, fight and flight, Diane, and basically when we are in that position of fear, the fear elicits an action that stops us from doing something that will elicit that response that we're frightened of. So that will elicit the criticism or the ridicule or the rejection by others. Okay. So that's all around the fear. Now, Gemma last week. So again, if you haven't watched Gemma's session, then make sure you go back and watch it, because Gemma talks a lot about language. Okay. And this is all to do with your limiting beliefs. Okay. So I just want to delve a little bit deeper into language and what it does. Okay. So I'm going to start with the I do, the I don't, the I am, and the I'm I am not. Okay. Now, in fact, before I start this, does anybody have any questions at all about what we've covered in terms of where your limiting beliefs start from? So please, if you do, drop it into the comments box. I'll try to keep up with any questions. And if I don't, then I will obviously come back later on and answer your questions for you. So no questions, it looks like, at the moment, which is great. Please just, keep the love and the hearts coming. Please let me know that you're still getting value from this. I like to know that I am doing a good job, because I'm frightened of not doing a good job. So, okay, language. I do, I don't, I am not. So the first thing to say is that every single one of us define ourselves by what we do or what we don't do. So, for example, by saying that you work in one profession actually tells your brain that you don't work in another. So, my career history, before I was a coach for you guys, my career history is as an occupational therapist. So, if I said I am an occupational therapist, this actually means I don't do marketing and I'm not an internet marketer. Okay. And it tells my brain that I shouldn't actually, thank you, Jane, I shouldn't actually think about doing anything else, which means that my marketing business will fail. Now, those that I coach, my journey into the Super Affiliate Network. It was a long and painful one, and I had many challenges and I had many failures, and that was because I was an occupational therapist, and that's what I was. And what I didn't tell myself is that I was an internet marketer. Okay. And it was only when I joined the Super Affiliate Network and I actually started to address what was going on in my head that I started to be successful. Okay. So we make judgments about ourselves, such as I don't deserve this. And when we say I don't deserve this, it means that the result of that is that we don't expect things and we don't seek things out. So when we say or think I am, it instills generalizations about who we are. So another example, so I could very easily, like I was 40 minutes late for this session for you guys. Okay, like, like, how did I get that wrong? I promise I won't be late next time. Okay. But it would be very easy for me to say, I'm stupid. Like, I am stupid. How did I get that wrong? Like, it's just a matter of changing the time zone and working it out and turning up on time. And I'm stupid. But if I say I'm stupid, actually what that tells my brain is that all of me is stupid, and therefore stupid is me. Okay, I'm hoping this makes sense for you guys. So rather than make that generalization, I am stupid, it would be much better and more appropriate for me to say that was a stupid thing to do. Okay, and then I'm not making this massive generalization that I am stupid. Okay, so the other thing about the I am and the I am not, and I'm going to come to this in a little while, is that when we say I am or I am not with a set of values, which I will come on to, they are the things that then help us to form opinions about whether another person is good or bad or right or wrong. Okay. So we'll just park that and I'll come back to that in a minute. So when we say I can't, okay, now all of us very often have self-images of the things that we can and can't do, and these can be either very empowering or very limiting. So we're obviously focusing on the limiting things. Now, for my 40th birthday, I know it's difficult to believe that I'm that old, but that was some years ago. Anyway, for my 40th birthday, my husband bought me some guitar lessons. Okay. Now, I don't think I am musical. Okay. I just don't think I am. And my husband bought me guitar lessons. And I know, Diane, I know. Now, my husband bought me guitar lessons for my 40th birthday. And I said to him at the time, well, that's a fantastic present, but darling, yes, I've always wanted to play a musical instrument, but there's a reason why I've got to 40 years old and I don't play. And that's because I'm not musical. Okay. And that was kind of what I think. I don't think I'm musical in any way, shape or form, but I like the idea of being able to play a musical instrument. So for all those years, I never learned to play. Never. Because I don't think I'm musical. And it just didn't occur to me that, maybe if I took some lessons, I might be able to learn to play. Now, I did have my lessons and I loved it. And my teacher said I was doing really well. And, and I picked up things really, really quickly and, all that stuff. And then lots of stuff happened in my life around that time and I stopped the lessons. Now, this whole thing about me not being musical 4 years later still prevents me from going back to my lessons. Now, how bonkers is that? Like, how crazy that I really enjoyed it and I did really well. And yet my whole belief that I'm not musical stops me from doing something that I really enjoyed. Okay. So do you see how these things, they're really on a real subconscious level, guys, that they just stop you from doing stuff. Okay. So the whole I can't thing centers around our belief in our abilities and that we can't learn new skills. Okay. So never, ever say I can't. Never, ever, ever. Very, very bad. Okay. Now, the next thing, I must or I mustn't. So all of us are governed by a set of values, laws, and normal behaviors and other rules that impact on what we think we must or must not do. Okay, some are mandatory, so laws, obviously, but most of them aren't. And it's the ones that aren't mandatory that can be hugely limiting. Okay, so for example, I have this big thing in my life about being in control. Now, I've done a recent training program that's helped me to understand where that has come from. Hi, David. But I used to think that I had to be in control of every single aspect of my life to the minutest degree. But of course, that stopped me from being spontaneous and it stopped me from enjoying things in the moment. Now, I know I still have a problem with being in control. Okay, I still do. It's going to take a long time to work that one out, but I'm working on it. And because I'm aware of it, it means I can do something about it. And I think, being aware of things is a real key to being able to resolve the problem. And I recently had one of my students on a coaching call with me, and he said to me, it was quite a difficult call anyway. He wasn't very forthcoming with information, and we were talking about limiting beliefs, and I'd asked him to go away and do some reading around it and, write me a list of his successes and all of that sort of stuff. And in the end, what he said to me was, I don't need your pep talk. I don't have limiting beliefs. And I thought to myself, well, that's it really. Like, to have so little insight into our thought processes. You know, guys, this is super, super important. And I'll talk about that again at the end. But so anyway, now, not only do we have limiting beliefs about ourselves, and every single one of us has limiting beliefs, but we also have limiting beliefs about other people. Okay? Now, that might instill itself as, is this person more superior or inferior to me? Is this person more capable or incapable than me? Is this person selfish or generous? Okay. Now, when we have those beliefs about other people, it stops us from challenging them, and it stops us from asking for help. Okay. And that's the key thing. Stops us from asking for help. Now, the other thing that that's important to say about this is that when we think that about somebody else, we are guessing. There is rarely any factual evidence to support that belief that you have about that other person. And most of the time, your guess is wrong. I know. That's difficult to stomach, but it is. It's true. And of course, we're never wrong because we don't like to be. Okay. So, you know, it might be that we've done something and we are making a judgment. We are guessing that the other person is going to be cross or upset or angry about it, about something that we have or haven't done. When in actual fact, they don't give two hoots. They don't care. Like, so what? Okay, but we've guessed that they're going to be angry, upset, whatever it is that we've guessed. And then because we've guessed that, we then think that we might know how they're going to respond. And then because we think we know how they're going to respond, we do or we don't act in a certain way because we've made up that belief. Okay? Are you following it? Good. Fantastic. Okay, so despite what we've guessed, we will do or not do. Okay? Now, and then finally, for this session, the other thing that we have limiting beliefs about is how the world works. Okay, now this is how the world works in general. And so we not only have limiting beliefs about ourselves, we have limiting beliefs about other people, and we have limiting beliefs about the whole world, such as Mother Nature always wins. All dogs bite. You're more likely to get struck by lightning if you stand under a tree. They are all based on supposition and hearsay and colloquial stuff and cultural stories and all of that stuff. And it is just a limiting belief. Okay. So, guys, why does this matter? That's the question. Limiting beliefs are so ingrained in our subconscious mind that we don't even know that they're there. And most of them have derived from our formative years when we are, you know, small children, when we're going through the school and education system, and then through our early adult years when we are just building evidence to support our limiting belief. Okay, and that's how ingrained they are. You don't even know they're there. And limiting beliefs show up in the patterns in our lives. And that's how we know that there's a limiting belief involved in this. Okay, so, for example, are you a serial dater? You should be so lucky, or not. You know, repeated abusive relationships. Let's not talk about that. But, you know, the people that go from one abusive relationship to another. Do you often change your job, or do you get sacked often, or can you never get a promotion? Do you want a career change, but you always end up, the new job is almost exactly the identical to the job that you've just left? Or you've been working in internet marketing forever and you're still not getting anywhere. And I can almost guarantee that it's your limiting beliefs that are holding you back, and that there is self-sabotage going on and you don't even know it. Okay, so I'm going to stop the session here because I've been going for nearly half an hour now. Even though I was 40 minutes late, I've still managed to fill half an hour. Woohoo! Okay, so what I'm going to continue, I'm going to continue the session next week. We're going to do part 2. And next week, I'm going to take you through, good morning, Morris. Good afternoon here, or good night wherever you else are in the world. So next week, I'm going to take you through an exercise that will help you to identify some of your limiting beliefs and help you to track them back so that you know where they start from, so that you can then start to deal with them. Okay, so what I'm going to task you for the week to do is have a think about the thoughts that come into your head, and I'd like you to write them down. Okay, so I want you to spend the week really thinking about your limiting beliefs. Start trying to recognize them. Start trying to identify the beliefs that are holding you back. And then next week, we'll go through the process so that you can start to deal with them. Okay? Happy with that? Fantastic. Okay. Any questions? Drop them in the comments. It's been I've really had a great time. I was so worried about coming on here and talking to all you amazing people. But I've had such a fantastic time. I hope that you got some great value out of this. Drop me some questions. I'm happy to answer any questions. So either drop a comment in the comments box, or you can drop me an email, or tag me in a post, whatever. Any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them, and I will be on time next week. Okay. See you all, guys. It's been fantastic, and I'll see you all next week. Have a great weekend. Have a fantastic time in your business. Make loads of sales, get loads of leads, do some fantastic follow-up, and I'll see you all next Friday. Okay, bye-bye.